Let's get started on texturing this Renegade Roller. The first thing I should say before I start is that I've made a couple of small changes to the model. I separated out this piece here. Hide that and you'll see. Okay, so I've done that. And let's get rid of that for now. So I've got that one piece. And I've got those pieces there, and then this part, which I'm calling the arm, I guess, I've joined these two pieces here. Okay, although they had different sort of poly counts and stuff, different number of vertices at the end, I just put them together and I joined them. And then I've got the handle, and I've got the chain part there. So I set it up that way so I could put different materials on the different parts as I wanted to, and that just required me to do just a little bit more modeling, sort of take those and extrude that piece in a little bit, and that was it. Okay, so now that I've got that, I'm going to work, I think, in this video on the roller, and then the next time I'll do the arm and the handle. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to create a new material, and I'm going to call this roller outside, and that part I'm going to not do that. I'm going to call that roller in, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to create a new material, and I'm going to call that arm. I'm going to call this handle, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that, but I'm going to call that chain. So I should have those materials on it, and this one, that pin thing here, this thing I've joined to the body as well, to the handle. Okay, so I've got all those. I'm going to start with texturing the roller here. So over to the shader editor. I'll just focus on those two things right there. And this one is going to do very, very straightforward. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the base color to a gray like that. And we're just going to add a noise texture. So texture, noise. And we're going to add that to the bump. So Shift A, vector bump. Let's try the fact to the height. And let's try that to normal. Give it a second. And we see that. Now we're going to adjust the scale. I'm going to try 500 first of all. And I want that to be sort of uniformly on there, so I'm going to press Control T on that. I have the Node Wrangler enabled, and that allows me to do that. And I'm going to switch here to Object. Alright, and we're going to reduce the strength to, say, 0.1. And we can see that. So I'm going to come back up here, and let's go to 600. Let's increase the detail to maybe 6. And that's probably good. Just like that. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to bring the metallic up. Let's see if I try all the way. Alright, if I do that, I'll bring the color up a little bit. And I'll bring the roughness down a bit. I'm going to start with something like that. I might even go for less, 0.07. 650. All right, let's start with that. Okay, so over to the roller now. So I want to make this look a little spongy. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use a noise and a Voronoi texture. So I'll put down a noise, and I'm going to Shift D, copy it over here, and then Shift S. I can change that to Voronoi. And I'm going to use Control T and UV, no object, to there. Let's try the color into there. And I'm going to add a color ramp to give this the actual color. So converter color ramp. I'm going to take the distance into the FAC here. And I'm just going to take these and slide them in and start with a couple of colors here for the black. I'm going to go for a sort of a yellowish brown. We can adjust those in a moment. And then a more saturated one. And let's just try that. Throwing that into here. And I have this so far. Okay. Now we're going to adjust some of these values here. Let's start by putting this at about 50. The detail, maybe I'll bring it up to 8. You can start seeing what I'm getting at here. Now to make this look a little bit better, we're going to add a bump. Alright, it starts to look kind of cool there. Let's reduce that. Now we can see our line through it and we get this idea here. Now I'm just going to play with these values until I get what I like. Try 16 on the noise. Okay. So that's a good start for that. I mean, you can adjust the colors all you want. And we also want a wave pattern on here. Take the noise, Shift S, let's switch that to a wave texture. Let's Control T as well, an object vector, so that we can adjust how these waves go. I'm going to add a color ramp as well. I think I'm going to use a separate bump for this, so I can control the bump of the wave texture itself. You'll see that in a second. And one more thing, a mix RGB. I'll put that in there. Bring that in. And I'm going to switch this to multiply. Now you can see my wave texture in there. Let's bring the strength up. And that looks really good, but I want it to go on a bit of an angle. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try pinching these in. Makes it a bit more visible. Something like that. Okay. I'm going to try in the line. And then I get them like that. Let's lower that a bit. Let's have a look over in layout. This is what I get. And that's what I'm going for so far. You can adjust the colors a little bit if you feel that looks a little bit unnatural, but that's basically what I'm going for this piece. Okay, and so the next thing would be to add sort of a metal texture, some noise, and to add the paint on this. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. We'll come back in the next video.